Let's now take a trip overseas, specifically to the Russian port city of Vladivostok, where Bloomberg editor-in-chief John Micklethwaite sat down with Russian President Vladimir Putin for a wide-ranging interview. Putin denied any involvement in the computer hacks that have embarrassed the Democratic Party here in the United States. But he did throw some shade Clinton's way, calling the leaked DNC emails a public service and suggesting that Clinton's nomination victory against Bernie Sanders wasn't quite on the up and up.
Does it even matter who hacked this data from the campaign headquarters of Mrs. Clinton? The important thing is the content that was given to the public, specifically that the campaign headquarters worked in the interests of one of the candidates, in this case Mrs. Clinton, rather than equally for all of the Democratic Party candidates.
The Clinton campaign responded today with a statement that read in part, quote, "Unsurprisingly, Putin has joined Trump in cheering foreign interference in the U.S. election that is clearly designed to inflict political damage on Hillary Clinton and Democrats." Margaret, the Clinton people got that statement out pretty quickly. This is a big interview for our news organization and for our friend John Micklethwaite. As I said, the Clinton campaign jumped all over this interview, and it does kind of extend, I think, the storyline of the notion of Vladimir Putin maybe in league with Donald Trump, at least in principle, if not practice, kind of colluding to put their thumb on the scale and try to get involved in this American election. How much do you think that these statements by Putin further that storyline, and the extent to which you think that the Clinton campaign will try to play that to their advantage?
Yeah, I do think they're going to continue to try to play it to their advantage. Once we get past this Labor Day hurdle, we'll see a lot more focus on the economy and on domestic issues, certainly. But when you see reports about people like Henry Kissinger, George Shultz saying that they're not going to be endorsing now in this race, when you look at all of the Republicans and national security experts who have raised questions about Donald Trump, American attitudes about Russia, about WikiLeaks, and some of Trump's provocative statements in the past, the Clinton campaign thinks that this is a winning talking point to talk about and to raise questions about whether Trump is, because he's not the Republican establishment, who he's really representing, who he's working for. They do think that's an effective tack.
Look, here's the reality. The reality is that according to every computer expert that has ruled on this matter, it seems like these the DNC leaked emails were hacked by Russian security services or those affiliated with Russian security services. It's been clear for a long time that Vladimir Putin prefers Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton. This is a pretty brazen thing, I think, he did with John Micklethwaite in this interview. And if we see, as Julian Assange has promised, if we see more hacked emails that come out, especially really damaging ones, the question of what the involvement was of Russia, how much Putin really is trying to influence this American election is going to be a big question this October. And this has just kind of set the stage for what I think could be a very, very explosive element of the fall campaign.